are live on location, on the trail, on the hunt for the man, the myth, known as Sasquatch.
All right, guys. Well, we're here in Jefferson, Texas. It's considered the Bigfoot capital of Texas. They've been holding the annual Bigfoot conference here for the last almost 20 years. And this really is the hotbed of sightings in Texas, here out in East Texas, Marion County, Jefferson, Marshall area. Lots of forested area out here, some marshlands. You get into the swamps in Louisiana, Caddo Lake. And there have been many sightings over the years, going back hundreds of years. Native Americans used to see them out this way. And that's what we're hoping to do today, is catch a glimpse of the legend. And hopefully not be torn limb from limb.
You're coming up on the railroad tracks, and it's very well known in these parts. Even the local townspeople have talked about Bigfoot likes to wander on these tracks.
And it's close to water too.
Let's see.
He's got a drink, right?
Let's see what we can find. Stay tuned. What is that, guys?
Yeah, that's what
I mean, I'm not.
What is that?
I mean,
You think it's a Stargate?
Is that his hammock?
I think it is.
I see a raccoon or a squirrel.
You better get out of that hammock. I mean, I'd be pretty proud of that hammock.
Wouldn't we all?
Yeah.
Doesn't really protect from wind, though.
Oh yeah.
He's got a summer somewhere.
Yeah.
What we're looking for is certain tree structures that, fallen trees and branches and stuff like that. Stuff that, he might leave behind in his wake of destruction. Or we're looking for,
Him.
droppings, fecal matter.
Scat.
Scat. Yeah, that's the word.
Gross.
Which would be a large amount. I mean, you're looking at a pretty big pile, maybe 2-3 feet tall.
Ew.
Over here, you can see what appears to be some kind of canopy almost. Now, again, it could be naturally made overgrowth over time, but wonder if it's some kind of shelter of some sort from the elements, for him or possibly for a family, for an adolescent creature.
Or maybe it's a rogue Bigfoot.
Yeah, it's possible too.
Roam in the area.
I'm sure, and I don't know this, but I'm sure, if you search, deep enough, you'll find ones that were, thrown out of the tribe for some reason, just like humans,
Yeah.
excommunicated or something like that.
A defector.
A defector, yeah.
A defector.
Are you hearing something?
A defector that
This is very odd.
It's like going that way.
Yeah.
I think we should hop out and go that way. Should we follow it?
I'd find it more disconcerting if it was human skulls on those sticks, but
It's still very peculiar.
yeah.
Who's doing this?
He's some kind of line of demarcation.
Someone lives in this woods.
There's a story took place around here, or not far from here, between here and Texarkana, where there was a guy familiar with the territory, grew up hunting, fishing. He was, an outdoorsman, and he was equipped. I mean, he was strapped. He had armaments on him, guns and stuff, and he knew what he was doing, I guess is what I'm saying. And one morning, I was walking down a path we had taken before, and looked up, and there was something standing about 30-40 feet from him. And of course, he didn't know if it was an animal at first. It had the outline of a man, a very big man. Said it could have been at least 8 feet. Well, he said, he figured he'd try to communicate.
Careful.
He said, "Who are you?" Yelled out to him. He got no response. And, at that point, he became, a little bit concerned. No response. Some man or creature 8 foot tall. So he said, "I got a gun." And he said, "I'll kill you." And he said, when he said that, at once, where there was one, all of a sudden, there were 2. Now, if that doesn't scare you, and he said, within a couple seconds, they took off into the brush. This goes to show you, you might be seeing one, but you never know, just a short distance.
Where there's 2.
2 or more.
There's a lot of tall trees here. And there's rumors around too that they like to hide up there. Sometimes you don't even look up. He could be right there looking at you. You never know.
What do you think Bigfoot was? Bigfoot? Maybe.
Daddy! There's wolves. What does it say?
The big question is, can they communicate with it? Like that story of that guy. Did he understand what that guy was saying when he called out and asked him to identify himself? And if he did he know how to communicate back and just didn't want to? That's a big question of mine.
See, look at that. Look at that structure. A lot of people will say again that was grown that way. It's been like that forever. But a lot of Bigfoot experts, again, say that that's a structure that Bigfoot purposely turns that over to say, again, this is my area. Do not come past there.
Yeah, it's like a territorial marking.
It's very strange. And again, most people can dismiss it and say that's the way it is. Another interesting structure here, if you want to call it that.
You often wonder if you're just walking along just a path like this, and all of a sudden, maybe at dawn or whatever, just a little bit of sunlight coming down, and you see something down the road right at the edge, this comes right up on the path and starts looking at you. What do you do in a situation like that? I guess you could call out and ask him to identify himself.
Stuff definitely gets your heart rate up, not knowing what's behind the bend.
So not too far from here, probably maybe 20 minutes or so, there's Caddo Lake. I think it's one of the only, if not the only, natural lake in Texas.
So you look at this tree here, and a lot of people would say this is, you know, just fell over from natural causes. A storm blew it over, or it just got old and fell over. But there are a lot of people out there that say, you know, Bigfoot pushes this stuff over to kind of give us a barrier to say this is your area. Don't come to my area. So it's very interesting when you come to a tree, and this tree looks like it's fallen over for a while. So I'm not trying to be a big speculator on this, but it's also, you know, something to think about.
Uh-oh. Am I on camera?
Yeah.
How's it going?
On the trail for a while. This isn't keen on how to go see. Looks like we're gonna call it here on our first expedition. Found some interesting things, but nothing really substantial, not really any tracks or clear structures, but this is a good expedition, I think, guys. Thanks, Daniel, for joining us. Jack, thanks for stopping by. Look for more expeditions to come. So this is Hey Dean Yeager signing off on location.
Yibba, 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 yibba.